Hello everyone, my name is Sutton the Wolf and welcome back to Memories Dogma Code 1. We have met this shrine maiden at long last. Her name is Mikoto. And apparently she has been waiting for us for some reason. We'd seen her a few times in the game already. We saw her once at the cake shop Zelkova, I think it was called. And we talked to her briefly. And then we saw her at the shrine, and she wouldn't talk to us. Now she came and found us, and she's leading us to this place, and I don't know what she's gonna say. So, and Awie's been kidnapped, which is a problem. So yeah, that's pretty much all that happened last episode. I had been waiting for the proper time to come. Proper time? Yes, the time for me to tell you what you need to know. Okay. And that time is now. Oh yeah, and she said that she had something to say regarding Sorano. Mikoto's words don't make much sense. Before we go to that, there's a few things I want to ask you. By all means. Oh, she's a lot nicer than she originally seemed. I am certain the answer to one of your questions will be the information I must impart upon you regardless. There's a number of things I want to ask, but the one thing I want to know most of all... Are you the one who called that ambulance earlier? Yes. Okay, so that means Aoi did not call an ambulance, which is a problem. Because that means it's entirely possible that she sold us out, which would be a bad thing. Like a really bad thing. I see. Then before anything else, let me just thank you. But I don't get it. Your timing was almost too perfect. And how did you even know we need an ambulance? Did Aoi call her? Because if that's the case, then Aoi's clear again. This goes beyond the level of her just knowing that we were going to be attacked. From the time those men started their raid to the time it took us to be cornered like that, and then factor in the time it would take an ambulance to come after being called, and the time it would take for the paramedics to start knocking on the door. You'd have to know all of those things beforehand. And even then, it's not something that you'd be able to do normally. You say that, but at the same time, if her timing... Well, I don't know if she would have wanted Kakeru to be shot or not. Probably not. And if that's the case, then I guess her timing wasn't absolutely perfect. Because she could have come before Kakeru was shot. But at the same time, I guess the ones that are really being targeted are Reina and I. So I guess Kakeru wasn't really meant to be here, but I'm not entirely sure. Thinking about it logically, the only explanation would be that you're in league with those guys. But if you were, then you wouldn't call the ambulance. Mikoto closes her eyes and nods. Can you please tell us why? We need to be able to trust you. Mikoto takes in my words and opens her eyes again. The answer to that is the most difficult thing to explain. She's got a cute voice. The answer is that very sense of contradiction you feel right now. What? Can you please stop giving us vague answers like that? I'm deeply sorry. However, I have to explain things one at a time for you to understand. Okay. Mikoto says with a bow, then continues her explanation. She's a lot nicer than I thought she was going to be. Kusahara Hiroki-san, you have had to make a number of choices to make it this far, correct? Oh, don't get all meta on me, come on. Don't get meta on me. Choices. I remember back to the first time I met Mikoto, and the words she whispered in my ear. She has chosen. Now it is your turn to choose. Because of the results of various choices, the current state of the world as it is, the thing we call the present, exists. And the means by which the present changes is called the past. Okay, I thought that the game was gonna be like going all fourth wall breaky on us and being like, oh, someone's been calling the shots or something, but okay, back on track. I've seen games do that. Then the future is the amalgamation of all those choices that everyone has made. Man, we're going all deep into time shit. In other words, there are as many futures as there are choices to be made. Okay, so is this going to get into like the butterfly effect? Mikoto hesitates a bit and averts her gaze for a moment, then looks back at me and continues. I am able to see a portion of those futures. Huh. Okay. Silence. The sound of the wind howling through the cavern is surprisingly loud. Are you saying you have precognition? It is not quite the same as that. I am not able to see the future with certainty. So you can see possible futures. All I'm able to see is the near future. Basically, what kind of future will be chosen of the possible outcomes. So wait, do you see what is going to happen? Or do you see what could happen? For example, that time when you were being attacked. Which one? Because I made the correct choices, we were able to escape that situation without me having to even infiltrate the house. I think I get it. Of course, there were futures where you didn't escape as well. Therefore, in order to prevent those futures from coming to fruition, I took action. Okay. This method was the only way to get you to believe that my power truly is real. That's an interesting point as well. Because it's one thing for the game to just tell us that, but if you think about it from like a logical, realistic standpoint, like, if you're just told that randomly by someone, you probably wouldn't believe them. So that's a decent point of logic that she's using. Mikoto is trying to say that the very sense of contradiction that I'm feeling is the answer. In other words, the reason she called the ambulance with such perfect timing wasn't because she was with the JCO, but because she can see the future. Well, it certainly would have been more believable that you were with the JCO than that you could see the future. A few days ago, I wouldn't have believed you at all. That's right. If it had been the me before I'd met Dana, the me that I was when I first met Mikoto in front of Zelkova, I definitely wouldn't have believed her. But now Mikoto's answer just seems like the most natural explanation. That's understandable. It is, after all, the normal conclusion. Mikoto says while smiling sorrowfully. But you've already found yourself wrapped up in a very abnormal situation. That is why I finally felt it time to tell you what you need to know. So who are you working for? That's my question. Humans who naturally express the Paz gene. I mean, theoretically it's possible, but I didn't realize there actually were people like that. Huh. Something like that, something like being able to see the future is completely unscientific. But given what just occurred, I can't help but believe you. With one of my questions answered, a new feeling starts welling up within me. I'm certainly willing to believe that you have the power to see the future. It starts burning hotly within me. But if you can see the future, then why didn't you act sooner? My mouth starts moving before my brain can stop it. Couldn't you have called the ambulance before Kakeru got shot? And Aoi-san too. If you knew she was going to get kidnapped, why didn't you do something earlier? You see, that's uncalled for. But at the same time, I get it. I was thinking the same thing, like, technically the timing wasn't that perfect. She could have done it sooner. But at the same time, like, I get the impression that she's doing what she can. Hiroki, calm down. Dana stops me from continuing my tirade. I'm sorry, but you took so long in telling us. There's so many things that you could have done that it's too late for now. Well, okay, that's a bit harsh. Saying that she's, like, the only one who could have done anything. I guess he's got a point, but... I'm truly sorry. Mikoto looks down sadly. I may be able to see the future, but I don't have the power to change it. There's not much I can do about a future that's already decided. Yeah. It seems like she can see certain, like... I still can't figure out what exactly the details of her powers are. Because there's like, on one hand, it seems like she can see a future that is already decided, like she's saying right now. And in which case, she knows what's going to happen, so she can prepare for it. But then also, it seems like she can see different futures that would result from different choices. And like with her saving us, she could see a few futures in which we didn't escape, so she took action so that you could get a future that you did escape. So that's a little bit confusing. I'm not quite sure what the details of her powers are, or what the depth is. Please tell me one more thing. What did you mean when you said she is chosen the first time we met? And that it'd be my turn to choose next. Were you talking about Sutton? Yes. Mikoto nods and goes over to one of the candles strewn about all over the room. The Ofutama Shrine was built hundreds of years ago. Since then, countless people have come here to express their worries and fears, and to seek guidance. Among the people that were here to guide them, there have been those who have had unnatural abilities. By unnatural abilities, you mean superpowers like yours. I would not use the term superpowers to describe them, but yes. These abilities are not something so otherworldly. They are simply another expression of the kinds of unique traits all humans have. Mikoto lights another candle while answering. After all, the fact that you are a man, Hiroki-san, and that you are a woman, Hidena-san, is just another of your traits. Being smart or caring are also all just traits. In that same way, being able to do something other people can't is just another trait. A gift from heaven, if you will. Mikoto walks to another corner of the room and lights another candle. However, humans are a species that fear what they cannot understand. Yeah, that's true. Those who have abilities that go beyond the normal person are often persecuted and feared by others. We have for generations shown those with special powers how to coexist with others and help them find their place in the world. So now this is getting into the whole trying to act as if they're normal people to get them to be accepted, and so like people won't find out. Oh boy. I too have been granted a gift from heaven, and Mikoto lights the last of the candles and turns to face us. Sorano-san was as well. Okay, now what was she able to do? Oh gosh, it's getting complicated. After hearing about how Mikoto has powers, I had a feeling that might be the case. Considering the shrine's history, it makes sense. So hearing it directly from Mikoto only confirms what I already suspected. Okay, so that's why Sutton was going to the shrine so often. But at the same time, it just doesn't feel real. Sutton had this power too. Did you never feel like there was something strange about Sorano-san? Anything strange? I think back to all the memories I have of Sorano. I try to recall if there was anything strange about any of them. Oh yeah, there was just one thing that I thought was strange. Sorano didn't really get involved with too many other people. Considering how cheerful she was when she was with me and Kakame, she should have been able to make a ton of friends if she wanted. So why hang out with the likes of me? That was the question that was always in the back of my mind. Almost all my memories of Sorano are a bright, cheerful, and very kind girl. But there were times where she would occasionally look at someone with a look of terror on her face. That had always struck me as strange. Why was she so scared of strangers? And why did she talk to someone like me? Correct. Sorano-san was deathly afraid of strangers. Mikoto looks up to the rays of light pouring down into the cave from the sky. Her voice tinged with nostalgia. Then after a short silence, she looked back at us and began speaking once more. She had the ability to read other people's thoughts. Oh. Oh gosh, this is getting like really convoluted. Read other people's thoughts. So then, oh, why did she die? Oh, I want to know why she died. Was it possible that she like got depressed by something we were thinking, or no, probably not. She was able to perceive other people's thoughts and feelings, whether she willed it or not. Oh, that is scary. Yeah, that would make you afraid of people, wouldn't it? Just imagine, like, walking down the street and you look at someone coming out of a bakery and it's like all of a sudden you think, oh my god, that person wants to kill someone. Like, that would definitely make you look at strangers a bit differently. Like, that's some scary shit. Hearing that made me remember something. Once, when I was seeing Sutton off at the shrine gates as usual, I was suddenly scared by the notion that she might go off somewhere and never come back again. Don't worry, I'll be back. Just wait here. Those were her words to me. I remember feeling embarrassed because I thought I had let my fears show on my face. But apparently even that wasn't because of my expression. People have all sorts of emotions. Among them are emotions filled with malice. People rarely show such feelings out in the open, but if people know what they were really thinking, it's only natural that they shrink away from them. Yes. I like how Aina is just like completely dead silent. Even more so if they're kind people like Sorano-san. Why didn't she ever tell me? She probably thought it would scare him. Sorano-san paid special attention to make sure no one would know of her power. I respected Sorano's way of life, and so I wished to at least be by her side to give her some peace of mind. So that's what it was. Mikoto softly continues. There is no need to blame yourself. The fact that someone like you who had no ill will or ulterior motives continued to be by her most definitely must have been what saved her. Well, I mean, you say that, but she's still gone. Is that really true? Hiroki-san, please listen closely to what I'm about to tell you. Alright. We are going to continue this next time. Oh my gosh, this story is getting like... This game has had a history. This is like episode 43. So this game has clearly like screwed with my head a few times already. But like this is getting really, really interesting. Like now they're adding supernatural elements to it. So it all comes back to why does Sorano die? And what did she really commit suicide? Because she didn't, right? Because whenever we were back at the Connect Center, Kakeru was with us, and we asked Sorano her memories. We asked her why she killed herself. And since she didn't get cut off, that means that that isn't how she died. Because you're not allowed to ask about how someone died. So we worded it to where we found out that she didn't kill herself, which means something else happened to her. So either someone killed her, or like someone... My guess would be that either someone killed her because of her powers being dangerous, because with her powers she could find out things that she wouldn't be allowed to know. Like, imagine being able to see the president of some country and be able to tell, oh crap, that person is planning on doing insert terrible thing here. Of course, if the president of that country found out that they knew that, they would definitely want to get rid of them. So I can definitely see how that would lead to her being killed. The other option would that be is she's still alive and they faked her death, and then they like, somehow manipulated her memories to put them in the Connect Center as if she were dead. Either way, something's not right here, and there's definitely foul play. My guess would be, well, I'm stuck between those two options. I don't really know which one. The more likely option seems to be the first one, where she actually did die. But I'm not ruling out the fact that she might still be alive somewhere. And it was all just like a faked death. That's entirely possible. But I don't think that that's where this is going. But regardless, that's no speculation from me. We're going to continue next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's going to do it for me today. Leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below. I will always read them and I'll always take them into account. And as always, I'll see you guys next time for another episode of Memories Dogma Code 1.